Hi everybody. I am Isabella, the program coordinator at Delray Beach Public Library, and I am coming to you direct from my living room. I am working from home on medical leave, so got this situation going on, but hey, it's all good. We are recording this, and once the young ladies get started, I'd like to have you, well, you're all muted already, but I'd like for you to stay muted. I will, once we switch to screen sharing mode, I won't be able to see any of you, but I have made all of the speakers co-hosts, so if you have questions or comments, you can throw it in the chat box, and we'll address those at the end. I am hoping that all of the people who signed up through the library will join us as well. I understand that some people might be stuck in traffic and getting home from work late and trying to throw dinner on the table and all of those things that happen right around this time of day. So we may have some latecomers, and I would appreciate the co-hosts' help in getting people in the room once we start with the screen share, right? So I'm excited to be sponsoring this program for the library. I am super happy that I work for a library that I consider to be progressive. Delray Beach Public Library is a single branch library in Delray Beach. Have any of you been to our library? Excellent, Natalia has been. You know that you can all have a library card with us, right? Which if you have a library card with us and then a library card with whoever your home library is, that just gives you greater access to digital downloads. So keep that in mind next time you're in Delray Beach for dinner or whatever. If we're open, pop in and get a card. You can never have too many library cards, in my opinion, especially during this pandemic when more and more things are being handled digitally. So, it gives you more access to movies and books and things like that. So anyway, we are a small but mighty and progressive library. I think that we are the only public library in the United States of America that is doing anything for National Period Day. So it's like I applaud us for doing this. And we have a whole bunch more programs coming up. So if you are interested, you should check out what else we have. Tomorrow night, not at night, tomorrow during the day at 2 o'clock, I will be presenting a program, a slideshow about the recent trip to Kenya. I came back from Kenya right as the pandemic was making itself known. I was in Kenya distributing reusable feminine hygiene kits to 50 girls in this rural village through the Days for Girls organization. And it was a fantastic experience, and I'm going to do a slideshow and a talk about that tomorrow at 2 if you're interested. And then we have, and you can share this far and wide with your friends and family members too. On Thursday at 4 o'clock, we have the award-winning author of this book, The Moon Within, who is going to read from her book and talk about, apparently there's an ancient Mayan ceremony, the moon ceremony, that was celebrated to celebrate a girl's first period and coming of age. And so this book kind of talks about that. And the author of this book gave her own daughter a moon ceremony when she started her period. And so she's going to show videos and photographs from that actual ceremony, which should be fun. And the author is giving away 2, what she's calling first moon period packs. So it's like a starter kit for young girls that maybe haven't had their periods yet, and it includes a copy of the book, some reusable cotton pads, some teas, various other things, which should be kind of fun. So that's at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And then on the big day, National Period Day on Saturday, we have another author. Her name is Neha Singh, and she is the author of this gorgeous book called Is It the Same for You? And she's going to be Zooming in with us live from Mumbai, India. And trying to find a suitable time for both of us was interesting because Mumbai is 9.5 hours ahead of us. So we're meeting at 11 a.m. on Saturday. So I'd love to have you join us. She is also an activist in India and is the founder of this organization called Why Loiter. And she's promoting women being able to walk the streets of India and of Mumbai without being harassed. So she encourages women, they go out in groups or groups of 2 or 3 to places, bus stops, just downtown, in an effort to raise awareness of the amount of harassment that women suffer there. So join in if you can, 11 a.m. Saturday. It's going to be a great program. Tell all your friends, and thank you for being here. So without further ado, I am going to start screen sharing, and I will turn it over to Megan. So bear with me. Let's see here. Oh, and by the way, this is being recorded. It will be available on the library's YouTube channel, and I'm going to send a copy of the recording to Megan to do with whatever she will. Okay? All right, thank you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Megan, and you guys all know me right now because most of you are from Grandview and my family. But we're really glad to be here right now, and we'll be presenting about our group, Period at Boca Raton. And this presentation will elaborate on our chapter, the work we do, as well as the issue of period poverty and stigma, both nationwide and in Palm Beach County. This event is to celebrate National Period Day. It's also known as Period Action Day this year, PAD for short, which I think is kind of interesting. And the whole point is to spread awareness and make people care about this issue. So, okay, next slide, please. We're gonna introduce ourselves. Okay, as I said before, my name is Megan, and I'm the president of this group. I've been a member since the beginning, of course, and I really joined this because I think it's important that everyone has the essentials they need in life, whether that be pads or tampons or just basic essential needs. And next, we'll let Natalia introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. Most of you already know who I am, but for those of you who don't, my name's Natalia. I go to Grandview Preparatory School with the other girls who are presenting here today. I'm a senior, and I joined Period when it was first founded with Megan early March, and I've been part of it ever since. The reason why I joined is because I firmly believe in spreading justice and equality, and I think that this is an issue that not many people know about, and I think that being a participant is really helping destigmatize and also spread information about it that should be spread.
Dom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm sure many of you know me already, but I'm Dominique, or for short, Dom. I'm a junior at Grandview Preparatory School, just like Megan and Taya. And I joined Period in March when Megan started it. And I really wanted to join because I wanted to become educated, first of all, personally on the issue of period poverty. And I also really was passionate to end this problem or at least make the biggest change we can. So that's why I joined.
Hey guys, I'm Taya. I'm also a junior at Grandview Preparatory School. And like the other girl said, I think that period poverty is a bigger problem than most of us are aware of, especially at least we are here today to learn more about it. But in general, in our society and community, not that many people are aware of the big problem of period poverty. So I wanted to also join to spread awareness about this and, like Dawn said, do as much as we can to potentially end period poverty.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Taya will be presenting about the national organization Period.
Yeah, so like Megan said, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Period as an overall organization. So Period is basically a really big organization that was founded in 2014 by two 16-year-old high school students that had a passion for periods. The mission is to help end period poverty and stigma through service, education, advocacy. Period is divided into different chapters that help their local communities to satisfy the need in their communities. So we are the chapter Period Boca Raton. And so far, Period has helped 1 million periods through product distribution and registered over 700 chapters in all 50 US states and 40 other countries, which is really impressive. We can go to the next slide.
So I know you already know our names, but a little bit more about us. We started a branch during, oh wait, could you go back one slide? I think there's one more before this, sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay, don't worry about it. So a little bit more about our branch is that we actually are entirely comprised of teenage high school students. The 4 of us presenting here today are from Granby Prep, but other participants, we have kids from Boca Raton Community High, Oxbridge Academy, West Boca Community High School, Olympic Heights Community High School, and FAU High School. So we are representative of a bunch of different schools with a lot of different girls and guys from Boca Raton. So in this picture, we have these period packs. So we'll explain a little bit further into the presentation, but as you can see, these are paper bags that are stapled shut, and in them we have pads, tampons, notes, and soap. And we give these out, we distribute them to anybody who may need them during their periods. You can go to the next slide, please. So we started our branch during Corona. However, we understand that this is a time of dire need for menstruators, as unfortunately we cannot hold it in or stop it. So if we look familiar to you, let us know, because we were featured on Sun Sentinel Channel 5 News recently. As some of you may already know, we discussed it a little bit earlier with Sun Sentinel, but in this picture, we have Jane in the top left, Taya, Dom, myself, and Megan. We are holding the period packs, and we have the boxes next to us, which is what we have roughly 25 of each in. So you can see like how many we have next to Taya and Dom, and Megan is there distributing them herself. And Jane is gathering supplies, and she purchased those on her own. So that was really great of her. Thanks, Jane. You can go to the next slide now. Thank you. So what is period poverty? We've been talking about this all night, and I'm sure a few of you have some questions. So nationwide, 1 in 4 women who menstruate experience period poverty, which is the lack of income to purchase products they need, or the inability to go to work or school due to a lack of period products. So no, we firmly believe that nobody should have to struggle with this, because obviously you don't choose to menstruate, and it's not fair to miss out on daily life experiences such as an education or making money at a job. So unfortunately, it's more prominent than you may think it is. 51% of teens feel like their school does not care about them if they do not provide free period products in the bathrooms. 1 in 5 teens have struggled with period products or not able to purchase them at all. 61% have worn a tampon or pad for more than 4 hours because they did not have enough access to period products, which puts them at risk of infection or toxic shock syndrome. And 1 in 4 teens have missed class because of a lack of access to period products. So to really put this in perspective, if you can think of 4 women that you know, or 5 women that you know, that's 1 in 4 of you has struggled with that. 1 in 5 of you has struggled with that. And a little bit more than half of that group that you might have just come up with has struggled with the top 2 statistics, to really put that in perspective. If you could go to the next slide, please. So period poverty, you usually think that this may be happening in a third world country or somewhere very far away. However, it is actually very prominent here as well. So 23% of Florida's children are living below the poverty level, and 66% of public school students qualified for free or reduced price school lunch. So while that percentage may not be as much, food and rent take precedent over period supplies. So it usually leaves menstruators to use other methods like toilet paper or rags or napkins. So this is actually a dangerous practice, as these alternate methods are unsanitary and unsafe, and they can lead to infections, invasive bacteria, and potentially toxic shock syndrome, which is, it's kind of like a reaction that your body would have to having the blood in your body for too long that's trying to dispense, and it can be very, very dangerous. You can be hospitalized. So believe it or not, menstruators in Palm Beach are afflicted just as much as the rest of the globe by period poverty.
So thank you, Natalia. So what Natalia spoke about, the period pack specifically, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So one period pack, which is a brown bag that's sealed shut, contains everything essential for one menstrual cycle. So it contains pads, tampons, and a soap bar, and also a note of encouragement from Period. And so these packs are made from our members' homes, so everybody gets to make them, and safely, of course, with COVID. And we've made over 2,500 period packs with over 37,500 menstrual products donated to women throughout Florida. And this weekend, actually, we're going to have another distribution, and we'll reach 40,000 pads and tampons distributed. So that's amazing. Next slide, please. So quarantine packing parties. So that's what we do at Period at Boca Raton. A quarantine packing party is basically just everyone takes the time to have fun and do it at their house and pack these period packs. And during the last 6 months that we've been a chapter, we've held a bunch of period packing parties because almost all of our members have packed some period packs. And they've been doing this safely, which is awesome. And to the right, there's a picture of the exact instructions on how to do it and how to package them to deliver. Next slide, please.
Okay, so once we have all the period packs made, the second phase of our plan is to make sure that they go to people in need. And fortunately, there are many local nonprofit organizations that are a lot older than us and have a direct line to those people. As you can see on the screen, several of these organizations, there's a lot so far, but we're hoping to grow that number and impact more people going on. Every single one of these charities, it might take a long time for me to go through all of them. So I just want to highlight a few of them that we've had really strong connections with ever since COVID started. The Guatemalan Maya Center holds a lot of COVID testing right now because the Guatemalan Mayan population is at a really high risk of contracting COVID-19. So they've been able to distribute hundreds of our period packs to those people who need them. Pace Broward, they sent us an incredible video thanking us for, we donated, I think, 250 period packs to them. And their video is actually quoted in the Sun Sentinel article today, saying how needed these products are and how there's not really a high amount of people who want to help because they might not feel as comfortable donating menstrual hygiene products, but they're still super like needed. Then we have the Glades Initiative. They help people directly in the Glades through their drive-through food distributions. So our period packs have been able to go out through that. And also the Lord's Place, they were one of our first partners, and they are really focused on ending the cycle of homelessness in Palm Beach County. And they said that our period packs have been really helpful for homeless people going through hard times. And we've even branched out to Best Foot Forward. They're actually located in our hometown of Boca Raton, and they help foster kids. So as you can see, there's a lot of people that we range from, like all menstruators. So we're hoping to grow that number and make a larger impact on everyone.
Really quickly, I just wanted to add that a lot of the people that these organizations help, the highest demographic living in poverty in Palm Beach County are females aged 25 to 34. And then another demographic is right afterwards, the second group that suffers the most is actually females aged 35 to 44. So unfortunately, a lot of those women menstruate. So that can really put into perspective how many people really need our help. And also, not sure if all of you knew this, but the SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, they give you food items, bread, fruits, vegetables, meats, fish, poultry, and dairy products. However, through this program, you cannot buy toilet paper, diapers, toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, or feminine hygiene products. So again, that just illustrates how needed our work really is in these communities.
Thank you. Next slide, please.
So, supporters of Period at Boca Raton, we wanted to recognize some of our supporters who have made this work possible. So, first of all, we want to recognize Dennis M, and he's from the Lois A. Doyle Foundation or Family Foundation, and they gave us a really generous donation of $2,000 when we first started. So that got us all started. So thank you to them. And then we also wanted to recognize 100 Women Who Care South Palm Beach chapter. So basically, this organization works by every month, or every member, my bad, donates $100 to the chapter. And these members then decide on a charity that's been presented to them to support. So we made a video and we got their money, we won, and we have been able to make so many period packs from that. So thank you to them. And we also wanted to thank the Rotary Club of Boca Raton, and they've been a great source of support by connecting us with Boca Helping Hands, which have also been amazing to support and to give out period packs to.
Awesome.
So next slide, please. Thank you.
So we've been explaining a lot about how our group helps other people, but it's also been really beneficial for us personally because it helps us bring people together during a long time of separation and isolation, you know, spending a lot of time on our screens. Being able to unite over a common cause that a lot of us can relate to or empathize with has been really good at giving us something productive to do during quarantine and COVID. Secondly, we've been able to take a step back and recognize our personal privileges, being able to afford these essential products, and kind of recognize that there's a lot of people in our area who can't really do the same. So after that, we've become more educated and been able to advocate for this issue and raise awareness. And lastly, it's been a really great way for us to meet other people who kind of care about the same cause, both in like Boca Raton and even like nationwide with Period. So it's really amazing to come together because that's how we're stronger and, you know, make a larger impact and help more people. Next slide, please. So these past 6 months since March have been full of tremendous growth and change. So like last February, our club didn't really exist, but looking forward, we're working to increase our impact by hosting some educational workshops to reduce the stigma, bring awareness for period poverty, and build empathy, as well as teach young menstruators not to be ashamed of their body or like a natural bodily function. Our next goal, like I said before, is to increase our service partners so we can reach even more marginalized groups that aren't being served, or they are being served, but we haven't connected with them yet. So we want to connect with as many people as possible. And then our last goal is to recruit more members because sustainability is really important for any organization. So it's better to have different viewpoints and backgrounds, as well as people to help take this on after we graduate. Next slide, please.
So now we're gonna talk a little bit about period facts. So to make sure we're all on the same page, we decided to include a little bit of a fun fact quiz that includes some basic knowledge about periods. So I'm gonna read each one of the questions, and then you have about 20 seconds to answer them, and you can just write them in the chat box. And then I'll go on read the next question until we get through all of them, and then we'll reveal the answers on the next slide. So let's test your knowledge, guys. First question is, you normally get your period between ages blank, and for some people, it's even a bit older. So you guys will have about 15 more seconds.
Just to clarify, this is when it would start, not like the whole length of it.
Okay. We're gonna move on to the next question. Getting your period is your body's way of getting ready to blank. 20 seconds. Okay. The next question is, menstruating occurs every blank days. Go. Okay. Question number 4. Your period can last from blank days. Okay, question number 5. For the first blank years of your period may be irregular. Your period may be irregular, sorry. Okay, and then we have the last question. PMS, which is known as premenstrual syndrome, is used to describe blank that many people experience before their period. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone participating. You can move on to the next slide, and as we know, I mean, at least the ones of us that menstruate, all these range and differs from person to person, so it's like kind of hard to have concrete answers. But overall, the answer to number 1 is 8 to 13 years old. And that was the question of how old you are when you first get it. The answer to number 2 is why we get our periods is, like most of you guys said, to develop a baby or reproduce. For number 3, how long is usually your period? No, from what's the cycle of your period? It's usually between 21 and 35 days. Your period can last from 2 to 7 days for number 4. Number 5, your period is usually irregular from the first 2 to 3 years. And for number 6, the last one, PMS is known as the physical and emotional symptoms you experience before your period. So thank you so much for everyone who answered. We got a lot of correct answers here, which is reassuring, but if you got some wrong, that's okay too. So thank you so much for that. So we can move on to the next slide.
Thank you, guys. So now that you kind of have a general idea of what we're all about, here are a few ways that you can help. The first way would be donating period products or money to buy period products that we can assemble into period packs. Either that or like hosting a drive would be really helpful to like raise awareness and gather these products that we need to distribute. Next would be following us on Instagram and Facebook to kind of stay up to date on all the new stuff that we're doing. And, you know, we're going to be posting some more educational stuff about like periods and period poverty. So that's always just good to have on your feed and learn more about to help, you know, break the stigma and normalize periods. If you have any middle or high schoolers here right now, which I don't see at the moment, it'd be really great if they can join Period at Boca Raton, or if you know anyone. that you think might be interested, we'd love to encourage that. Even if you're not a middle or high school student, you're still welcome to volunteer with us if you really want to. Just shoot us an email. And then also connect us with new service partners so we can increase our reach. There's so many different organizations in our area. It's really hard to like connect with everyone we want to. So if you know somebody who works at a nonprofit or you volunteer there, so like, you know, they already know you, we'd love that connection to work together. And yeah, next slide, please. So we want to end our presentation portion by saying thank you for your time, especially thank you to Isabella and the Delray Beach Public Library for giving us this platform. And if anyone wants to get involved, you're very welcome to email us at period.bocaraton@gmail.com, or also it's in our Instagram account, so it should be easy to find. Thank you. Now we'll be answering any questions and just having a conversation.
I have a quick.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Megan, and all of you young ladies for doing this. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know before, and I'm just so happy to be hosting you. Yeah, so does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah, Ms. Westwood, I see your hand up.
I always have a question. They know I always have a question. Great job. Great summary and statistics and making it clear the relevance of the work that you're doing. Do you have a donate button on your Instagram? You know, I follow your Instagram, but I didn't know if you had an easy mechanism for people who follow you to give money, or if they just go through your email channel.
So far it's mostly just been people writing checks or like physical, like monetary donations, either like by mail or in person.
Mm-hmm.
We should set up a donate button. That's a really great suggestion. Yeah, we're kind of concerned though about like some electronic fees, but I guess it'd be worth it if it's a lot easier to donate electronically. So we can work on adding that.
And it may not be the right time to do it. I'm just curious because I have people that I know across the country that might want to help. And if it's easy to forward a link to them, then, you know, but it's also easy to forward an address for a check. So that's not crucial if you don't think it's crucial yet for where you are in your development. But excellent job. Excellent job. All of you.
I actually have a question. I have a question about the notes of encouragement. So are those something that your that the people who are volunteering with you write themselves? Are they pre-printed? You know, where do those come from?
So
We have them kind of pre-printed out. They just kind of are notes of encouragement, like stay strong during this point in time from Period Boca Raton. Hope you enjoyed the product, stuff like that. We have them in English and in Spanish.
Okay, so they're pre-printed. The messages are pre-done in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if anyone wants to add in like a little nice note as well from themselves, then that's welcome.
Okay, that's cool. And if the library wanted to like set up a donation bin, which as we become, I mean, we are open to the public now with restrictions, of course, but if we wanted to put a bin in for people to start donating products, I mean, obviously you'd be open to that idea, but do we need to wait until a certain time when you're like having a special promotion, or can we just at some point do it for you?
The answer, that would be incredible.
Okay.
We would love that. Yeah. We can supply you with maybe signs that you might want to put up.
Okay.
Or if you have something else in mind, that just like run it by us, and yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll get with you on that. I'm like I said before, I'm not actually working in the building right now, but when I get back in there, I would like to keep this, you know, in the public eye as much as I can. Just a reminder that we're not your grandmother's library. Okay.
If I
And
could,
then, say again?
if I could just follow up to back to Jackie's question, we do have Megan does have an account set up. So if someone wants to write a check for, they could write it to Period at Boca Raton, and they can provide the check or the address to send it to. So we certainly are accepting donations, right, Megan?
Definitely. And it's just my house address, which like a lot of Grandview people might have, but I can also email it to you guys. The like
Okay.
preferred way to write it.
Mhm. Mhm.
We know where to find you. Another quick question, and I know people, you work with Boca Helping Hands and different organizations like that. Have any retailers been approached to, if there's like damaged boxes that just they don't keep on their shelves, or if they can help or assist in any way? Any in the national organization too, I don't know if there's a pathway there that's been explored, or if that's just not really viable. But it occurred to me that I know there's a lot of corporate headquarters or initiatives that are run by women or anybody that's interested in supporting the cause. So might be another channel to check.
Yeah, that'd be a really great way, I think, of getting donations. I think we might be receiving like the second hand of that. Because I know Boca Helping Hands and like the soup kitchen get some of those donations from like Walmart and stuff like that. So that might be like what they've been giving us. But it'd be really great to have like a direct link to like a larger organization. Anyone else have something to add?
Well, yeah, you mentioned you're collaborating with Boca Helping Hands. You're also collaborating with, is it the Soup Kitchen with Mila, Megan?
Yeah, I just said the soup kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, they get donations from Target, and they pass on periodically whatever they can't use from the Period products to Megan, then Megan incorporates it into the. So there's a lot of collaboration going on with other organizations too, which I think is great.
I would
That's
totally
great.
think the manufacturers of the products would want to have a for benefit angle, just like the Tom shoes or anybody else. We provide, we for every time you buy one, you can also donate, just those kinds of conversations. But there may be reasons they can't do that, but it just seems like this would be something they could get behind, particularly because they make the products. But
Yeah, I think Always and Ant Flow and like Playtex, I think they have a partnership with the larger Period organization where they make those donations. And I know You by Kotex has this organization called the Alliance for Period Supplies, and they're partners with the Junior League of Boca, or no, the Junior League of the Palm Beaches. So that's where they have their own period bank, as well as the Beauty Initiative. But I think we have to be our own 501c3 to qualify for that, to like get that partnership from You by Kotex. But there could also be like smaller, more like small business organizations that make feminine hygiene products that we might be able to partner with. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah.
I'm curious, are you aware of any legislative efforts, at least in the state? I know in Scotland last year, they passed legislation that they freely provide products at all schools at all levels throughout the entire country. Viewing it, it's not a matter, it shouldn't be, dependent on charity for people to have access to these products. You don't have to, ask for toilet paper. It's just provided in every public bathroom. And why do women have to have this exception for something that is medically, biologically necessary?
Right.
Yeah, 100%. So like we're service, education, and advocacy. Right now, Period at Boca Raton has kind of been really focused on just service right now because of COVID and everything. And then now we're kind of branching into educations with like presentations such as this. And advocacy is more next on our step, or next on our radar. There's this group called the Coalition Against Period Poverty that we actually co-founded. to help raise awareness and getting them in school restrooms. I think we're working on a pilot program with a Title I school to get period product dispensers there. I know right now the government and like the school district has a really hard time getting money just because the whole economic crisis right now. So it's really hard to add one more thing to their list of stuff to do. But I know states like California, New Hampshire, Georgia, and New York, of course, they have free period products in the school restrooms. That's a law. And Florida, I think that would be an incredible law to pass. It's just, given the economic crisis right now, there's like very, very minimal chance that a bill such as that would actually pass. But actually, last September in 2019, Ashley Eubanks, she's from Broward County, she spoke with Senator Lauren Book. She's one of our state senators from Florida, about the Learning with Dignity bill, or Learning with Dignity Act. And unfortunately, it died in education this March, along with like so many other bills. But there's definitely people working on it. And if you're interested in working with like advocacy, we can maybe add you to our emailing list for that. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Did you mention this? Does Florida have the period tax? Are menstrual products in Florida taxed? I don't know. I don't need to buy them for myself, so I don't know.
Fortunately, I think in 2018, we do not have the tampon tax,
Okay.
which is illegal. And also they do not prisons as of 2019 for like female inmates, they do not have to purchase pads and tampons.
Cool.
So schools are like their next.
That's good. I think I saw a chart somewhere that not all states have done away with the tampon tax, as you call it. And I was actually surprised that Florida was on the list, I think, as one of them that did. So yay us.
Yeah,
right?
There's like 30 states right now, I think.
Out of 50. Yeah. We have a ways to go. Anything else? Anyone else have any comments or questions?
From the advocacy side, I actually pulled Alex over here during the presentation because his dad's a pharmacist, and so he's super comfortable with purchasing products, and like if I need something, he just brings it home. He never thinks twice about it because that's his life. But I wonder, I think I caught right in the beginning of the presentation that you guys invite boys to be part, of your organization. Has it happened? Do other chapters have boys, involved? I just think as men who support women that I would love to see boys and men being more comfortable with these topics as we're able to sit here and talk about it as a group of women.
Yeah, right now I think we only have like 1 or 2 male members who are part of our group, both Grandview students. But I know that other chapters online, there are lots of other chapters who have college students in them, and they have boys who have leadership positions and stuff like that. And obviously for this whole organization, it's predominantly female, but there are a lot of guys who are involved, so that's
yeah.
good.
And I'm looking on getting a third. I'm looking on getting a third guy. I'm trying to get my younger brother, and so he always helps with period packs. So go Josh if you know him.
Awesome, Josh.
Josh is incredible. Even at the national level, a guy named Amir Abdul, he's the national campaign manager for Period, and he's like worked on getting the tampon tax removed in Ohio, which recently passed like last year or recently, I think. So there are definitely some non-menstruators who are really helpful in the cause. It's just majority female right now. But we'd love to see that change, as Natalia and Lily mentioned.
Well, your organization and you young women who are doing this give me hope, because, you know, with all of the crap that's going on around us in the world today, you know, it's like you guys, you young women, are like at the forefront. You know, the future of the world is in your hands. And as you have children of your own or have daughters of your own, look at how much more prepared you are going to be to prepare them, and so on for the next generations. And it just thrills me to think that a few generations from now, it's going to be a whole different place in the world today, you know, in the world then, regarding periods. And maybe you guys and your kids and your grandkids and so forth are going to just like annihilate period poverty altogether. And I applaud you for all of your effort. I really do. And I'm so impressed and so happy to know you. And I really would like to get us involved more with you, but thank you for everything that you're doing. I think it's fantastic. So
Thank you for your support.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, my pleasure. Anyone else? Don't forget, you can, when you're in Delray Beach, come in and get a library card, because you can have one from us too. The more you have in your wallet, the better it is. And please tune in to the rest of our programs for the rest of the week if you can. I'd love to see your faces and tell your friends and your kids and whoever else, because we got some great programs coming up for the rest of this week. So anything else before we say goodnight?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, for these wonderful women and young women and everyone. Thank you. We look forward to participating and learning more about all the work you're doing. And thank you for your energy and support for their hard work.
That's right. I agree. All right, everyone. Stay safe out there and have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. Bye.